You ever notice how some cops just go ballistic and make a federal case out of nothing when you're just out there exercising your right to record in public?
I just got the CAD number off your computer. You gotta close your screen.
Oh, did you take a picture of that? That is actually illegal.
Dude, I'm standing on a public sidewalk.
You cannot take a picture of my computer.
It says...
You're deleting it right now?
I didn't delete anything.
You said you just admitted to a crime.
Officer, I can smell your breath and your boyfriend's cologne, and I can see up your nose. I think you're a little too close. And stop trying to kiss me. I don't want none of that. Officer Meza says it's a crime for you to record a screen that he left open in his patrol cruiser.
You don't know the law. Do you know what the Plainview Doctrine is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I'm standing on a public sidewalk.
It doesn't apply. It does not apply to our computers.
Embarrassingly, Officer Meza also had to be instructed by one of his fellow officers that he was dead wrong.
If it's open available, they can see it. Not if it's on a leads page.
Yes, Officer Meza, even on a leads page. This is probably one of the most important videos I've done in terms of how vital it is to turn your camera on public servants. This comes from San Joaquin Valley Transparency, and the person who actually did this video does not want his channel to be named. But this has to do with the death of this little child right here. His name is AJ Friend. And this guy right here is Carlos Acosta, who's a former DCFS worker. That's the Department of Children and Family Services. Carlos had one job: protect little AJ. Carlos Acosta was convicted of mishandling abuse investigations of AJ Friend before his murder. He could have done something to intervene, and in fact, that's his taxpayer-funded job, to intervene on the behalf of children. And this guy right here turned his camera on the Illinois DCFS building to ask questions about if they've changed their policy regarding how you handle children, and have workers been briefed on how they can do something to avert this kind of horrific disaster that happened to AJ. And we have officers, Illinois officers, that get involved in this. The DCFS workers do not respond appropriately. They should understand, and they even mention the former workers whose court cases are coming up. They should understand that the public is outraged and people need to know what's going on and if there have been any policy changes. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. We're going to make some comments along the way. Hopefully we can all learn something and avert the tragedies that happen to people like AJ every single day.
Just my work phone, sir. Thank you.
I'll need the CAD number off this so I can get the 911 call and everything.
Oh, you can FOIA it.
Nah, I just need the number for it.
Yeah, you can FOIA it.
Oh, wow, you're nice. You need to be more professional, sir.
I was as professional as I could be.
No, I just got the CAD number off your computer. You gotta close your screen.
Oh, did you take a picture of that? That is actually illegal.
Dude, I'm standing on a public sidewalk.
You cannot take a picture of my computer.
Says who?
You're deleting it right now?
I didn't delete anything.
You said you just admitted to a crime.
Just admitted to a crime. There is something called Plainview Doctrine, and it applies to everything out in public at all times, including CAD computers that cops leave open to the prying eyes of the public.
Take a picture of something that you're not allowed to look at.
Let's get pictured out here, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
You are not allowed to take a picture.
I will talk to Officer Meza as soon as I'm done talking to you. Okay. But I'm going to have a talk with him right away. He should know better.
On May 30th of 2024, my news agency asked me to go to the DCFS office in Woodstock, Illinois, to get some B-roll footage and to ask questions of any officials that had walked out of there. The basic question being, have there been any changes since AJ's death?
The murder of an innocent 5-year-old boy sickened the community in 2019 when AJ Friend's body was discovered in a shallow grave. His mother and father later convicted in connection with the death, but prosecutors also argued DCFS caseworker Carlos Acosta should have seen the dangers and removed him from the home, which they say would have saved his life.
Mr. Acosta didn't even attempt to do his job that day. I mean, there was just a bewildering lack of willingness.
you guys made any changes since AJ's death? Any changes since AJ's death? Have you guys made any changes since AJ's death? Does anybody here care? Now, if you hadn't heard, this particular DCFS office has been in a lot of trouble. In fact, 2 of the officials that work in this office have been charged due to the death of that child, AJ, that I just mentioned. And it gets a lot worse because since that death and since those officials got in a lot of trouble, this office has actually gone the extreme opposite direction and basically accusing everyone of child abuse who gets introduced to that office, whether they are guilty or not. We know this because we have received several complaints about this very issue. See the police arriving.
And that's the danger of Department of Health and Human Services, DCFS, or any of these agencies that get involved in family matters. There are a lot of kids who get abused, who shouldn't have, who otherwise wouldn't have, and a lot of parents who are accused of criminal activity when they actually didn't commit criminal activity. Those are the 2 stories that you hear, horror stories that come out of child protective services across the country.
I was outside of this office for less than 2 minutes when they called the police and this happened. I tried to ask them what was going on since AJ's death, but they don't want to answer.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I tried to ask them what changes they have made since AJ's death. Are you familiar with AJ's death, the kid that died from them?
I am.
Yeah, so I just tried to ask them what's going on with that, if any changes have been made.
Oh, okay.
And I've been on the sidewalk, a public sidewalk, the whole time.
Yeah, not saying you're doing anything wrong.
No, they are. They'll let them know. Educate them.
How's it going?
If it ain't one thing like I saw you yesterday.
I know.
Are you tired of me yet?
No, not yet. I mean, was he inside?
No, we locked the doors.
Okay.
We still have 4 kids in here. And
Okay.
He's standing so he can see down the hallway, and they can't go to the bathroom or anything else.
Right here?
Yeah.
I would just put a tarp over it.
We had a sickened cop car.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's not doing anything illegal yet. I would just recommend, I mean, I know that there's kids and sensitive information in here, but he has every right to film from outside.
That's what I'm saying, public.
I would say put a tarp up, and he'll leave you alone. They just want, and honestly, it's probably not even for you guys, it's probably for us. Probably to get a reaction out of us, so.
He was already briefed by the cameraman why the cameraman was there and the concern he and the general public have about how they treat kids since one child under their care ended up passing away. So I don't know why the cop is saying this.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Just starting the day, so can't complain yet.
Good. Happy to hear that. Your buddies over here, I think.
Oh,
They're like talking right there.
Or do you want me to? You can go. Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't talk to him. Okay. Keep going.
Hello, ma'am.
It's a newer one, right? You know, right? Do you guys have a camera? You can go up to him and take a picture if you want to. He's on public sidewalk. Well, how about I do this? How about I take it with my work phone? This way. Do you have a work phone?
I don't have my work phone. I don't use a work phone. I just use my personal one. Oh,
Okay.
Bianca probably has her work phone.
No, it's fine.
Some kind of First Amendment. Did you hear that? The conversation in the background by the other 2 cops. This is some kind of First Amendment order. I don't know about this. Holding people accountable to the Constitution business here in America. What do they think this is?
Just my work phone, sir. Thank you.
I'll need the CAD number off this so I can get the 911 call and everything.
Oh, you can FOIA it.
Yeah, I just need the number for
Yeah,
it.
you can FOIA it.
Oh, wow, you're nice. Jeez. Now, real quick, for those who don't know, the call number, CAD number, incident number, whatever you want to call it, is very readily available to this officer right now. He could call it in real quick on his radio and get it. He could look over to his computer. He could say, hey, wait a minute until we're done and I'll get it for you, right? But he chooses not to. Now, that's kind of like you buy a bicycle at Walmart and you get it home and you realize the instructions to put it together are not in the box. So you go back to Walmart and you walk up to the customer service desk and you see the manual sitting back there and you say to the lady, hey, I just bought the bike and can I get the manual right there for it? And she looks at you with a smug, passive-aggressive face and says, you can get it online. You say, oh man, but yeah, it's right there. I just bought the bike. Can I just please just have the manual? It's right there. And she looks at you with that smug look again and says, you can get it online. That's almost exactly what this police officer is doing.
That is actually a very good analogy. And to add insult to injury for cops, a lot of the vehicles, well, not many anymore, but in America, it used to be a lot of the vehicles had to protect and serve. Well, if you're in the service business, if it's your job to serve the public and they ask a simple question that can be simply answered, why not do it? And if they're not going to do that, what else that they're supposed to be doing are they not doing?
See if it says it in his car. That's probably right there.
So he goes up and takes footage of the CAD screen under the plain view doctrine, and that's where the cop later is going to lose his, you know what.
And it's better not to. These guys are just fishing for a lawsuit. That's all they're doing.
Right.
They have nothing better to do.
Right.
They think they know the law. So.
Right.
And if you guys.
Just assuming the worst of somebody that you just admitted knows they know the law. They're just fishing for a lawsuit. Never mind the fact that AJ passed away because of this exact facility and the workers who are actually on trial as this is being recorded. Never mind all that. They're just fishing for a lawsuit. That's all it is. It couldn't possibly be that a company is interested in sending a journalist out there because the public has a massive amount of interest in what's actually going on in this DCFS office.
You guys feel unsafe when you guys leave for work or leave or whatever, you can always call us, not an emergency, for an escort to your car, anything like that. So.
Okay. Well, I'll just let the people know because, I mean, we've got night shift people
I wish AJ had that kind of protection, but he didn't, did he?
coming in to watch these kids.
Sure.
So we'll have people.
Yeah, you can circulate it, whatever. I mean, it's public. Public. He's on public property, so it's fine.
Sidewalk. He's
Right.
He'll move on.
And next Thursday or Friday is sentencing for our employee too.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe this is where the cop could have said he's got a chance to redeem himself right here. This is where he could have said, oh, that's right. He did mention that out there. Oh, you and your employees that you probably went to break with and you broke bread with and you had lunch with and you joked around with. These guys could have prevented the death of that 5-year-old. That's what he's here for. So can you understand, ma'am, why he's out there? Because you have generated interest for the public, and this guy's out here trying to cover a public interest story so that he can affect change so this doesn't happen to any more 5-year-olds in the future. You get that, right, ma'am?
Yeah, he'll move on. Don't worry about it. Like I said, they usually just fish and see who bites.
Right. Right. So I mean, we're closed. There won't be anybody here on the 6th.
All right. If you have any questions, call 911. Okay.
Yep.
Or any concerns, I should say. Have a good one, boss.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Name and badge number?
It's Mesa 91.
You need to be more professional, sir.
I was
Thank you,
as professional as I could be.
No, I just got the CAD number
That's as professional as you can be, Mesa.
off your computer. You gotta close your screen.
Oh, did you take a picture of that? That is actually illegal.
Dude, I'm standing on a public sidewalk.
You cannot take a picture of my computer.
Yeah, they're just out there fishing to see who bites. Oh, we got us a good one. Reel him into the boat. He just bit.
You're deleting it right now?
Are you destructing evidence? I didn't delete anything.
You said you just admitted to a crime. You took a picture of something that you're not allowed to look at.
Let's get pictured out here, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
You are not allowed to take a picture.
Let's get pictured out here. You have no idea.
Deputy Chief?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's all you want.
He knows me very well.
You need to be very careful and take a picture.
He's my friend.
Oh,
He's told me I could be here. He's told me I could be here.
You can be here, but
you need to be more professional. You don't know the law. Do you know what the Plainview Doctrine is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I'm standing on a public sidewalk.
It doesn't apply.
Anything I see.
It does not apply to our computers.
Dude, this guy doesn't even know the law.
So if it doesn't, and so if in the cop's mind, it doesn't apply to a CAD computer in a patrol cruiser, and the cop is bringing the accusation that a crime has just been committed, then why isn't the cameraman under arrest? Why is the cop just standing there arguing with somebody that he just said committed a crime? Because the cop doesn't believe it, or maybe he's just trying to exert his authority, and so he can say later, well, I could have arrested him, but I didn't. See how nice of a guy I am? It's all psychological operations with these guys.
Really? I'm standing on a sidewalk and I can't film what I can see? You're crazy, bro.
There's nothing wrong with that. If it's open available, they can see it.
Not if it's on a leads page. They can't.
Yeah, that's not a leads page.
Right. Well, I don't know that because I don't know what I left on.
But it's left open.
I don't know what I left on. I don't know what I'm so irresponsible with my job. I could have left private, sensitive information open on my computer. Somebody could have walked by my car, got somebody's social security number and address off of my computer, and brought harm into somebody's life. I don't know what I left on. Thanks for the admission, Officer Meza.
All right, well.
He should be fired just for that.
I was just saying, anything out in the public is free.
I know, thank you. This guy is a great officer right here. All right, we've arrived at the Woodstock Police Department to file a complaint against the officer.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
I had an issue with Mesa. I don't know if you heard.
Okay. What was the issue?
So I'm a journalist, gathered content for a story. DCFS is, they're criminals, right? They're responsible for the death of a kid. There's 2 of them going to jail right now. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a big story.
Okay.
It's a story that involves, like, people.
Yeah.
And journalists have a right to cover that story.
For sure.
Right? So if I'm standing on a sidewalk, just getting B-roll of the front of the place, and then asking employees who come out if they've made any change.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Right. And then I see Mesa, and I tell him, hey, sir, I'm just doing this. I'm on a sidewalk. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm going to bother you. Okay? The point is, I asked him, I said, I'm going to need the 911 call for this, for my report, for my job. What's the call number? He said, you need to foil that. I'm like, well, to foil that, I need the number. Can you just provide it? He said, no, just foil it. So he walks away. That's not a big deal. I walk over. I see his computer's there, wide open to the public. I'm in public, on a sidewalk. I understand the law. I understand Plainview Doctrine. I understand the First Amendment, freedom of the press. Apparently, I know a lot more than your officer does. Here's your boy. You took a crime. You took a picture of something that you're not allowed to.
How can you continue to employ, and I'm talking about from the police department perspective, how can you continue to employ a guy who's supposed to know the law that is so reckless with private information he doesn't know what he left on a computer that could be, data harvested by anybody who passes by? How can you keep a guy like that? And the only reason this police department knows that the cop did that this time is because this guy was involved in the situation. How many other times has Officer Meza left his computer open with private information on it that other people might have data scraped and ruined their lives economically? Maybe there was a, like I said, social security number on there and somebody's using that and stealing identities.
The point is, 10 million people on average view my channel every month.
Okay.
They're going to see this.
Okay.
It's going to look really bad because he had to walk away in shame because he realized he was being an asshole and uneducated.
Okay.
I need to file a complaint against him.
You want the form then?
Yeah. So I could use the form. Can I fill it out and bring it back at another point in time? Or?
Yeah. Let me see if I have one printed up.
Let me see if I have a form and I can just give it to you.
Okay. I appreciate it.
I will talk to Officer Meza as soon as I'm done talking to you. And then here's the form.
I might not. I'm going to look at it. I might not fill it.
Okay, but
I'm going to talk to him.
well, I'm going to have a talk with him right away. He should know better.
He should, right? He should. That's it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to be he also got in my face and started taking pictures of me. I'm going to be before requesting that. He can't delete those pictures now.
Okay.
Very unprofessional.
Do you have video of him taking pictures of you?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be on YouTube.
So my goal was not to go there and get into a conflict with police, despite what the workers here say. And as a journalist, I do need to try to maintain a good relationship with this police department. So after walking into this department, having a chat with the sergeant, and feeling good about the fact that the sergeant was on my side, I decided not to file a complaint. I know many of you would disagree with this. I know many would say this officer would not be so lenient on you, but the truth is, I'm better than him. And I have a feeling he will learn his lesson a different way.
Acosta was convicted last October on 2 counts of child endangerment. It's believed to be the first time in Illinois history a child welfare worker has been criminally convicted. Before sentencing, in his statement, Acosta apologized.
I am not the lazy, uncaring monster that Patrick has portrayed me to be.
Acosta worked more than 2 decades for DCFS and also served on the McHenry County Board. He could have gotten anywhere from probation up to 10 years in prison. Judge George Strickland chose to send him to jail for 6 months.
What AJ deserved was a chance, and AJ deserved a happy life. And what AJ got was a shallow grave.
Sheriff's officers took Acosta immediately into custody, walking him out of the courtroom in handcuffs, not allowing him to kiss his wife on the way out. Some supporters say the state is...
When Acosta could have done the right thing and actually stepped in to save a child, he didn't. And that is lazy. And it's, quite frankly, unacceptable. And I did a whole video, or a couple videos, on caseworkers and child protective services in DCFS, and it's a horrible mess. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in there. Leave your thoughts about this for the World and the Global Thought Police in the comment section below. Again, this comes from San Joaquin Valley Transparency. Make sure you check out his channel and subscribe to him. The bottom line here is it is important to turn your camera on public servants, and they should not have a problem with it. They should be the most cordial people on the planet, and oftentimes we see the exact opposite. If you want to support the channel, grab a shirt, become a channel member. More importantly, know what your rights are and stand for your rights, because I'm telling you, if you don't stand for your rights, one day we're going to look back and go, looks like we don't have any rights left, and there's nothing we'll be able to do. I'll see you guys in the next video.